How's up, everyone? So it's been a while since I actually make any videos. Usually I just stream gameplay these days because I prefer playing games. But I got a couple house calls recently from various places, hoping to hear about my thoughts on Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered. So I thought to myself, well, okay, what am I even going to talk about? I mean, like, the only thing they showed was like a minute worth of some trailer. So initially I was like, you know what, I kind of declined, because I don't think there was really all that much to say besides, it's Dynasty Warriors 3 with prettier graphics. But then I thought to myself, well, I suppose there is a couple concern I could think about, so I decided to go through with this anyway. It's just a brief chat, hence this video. So, let me start things simple. Like, first, now this was on my mind, at least, as soon as I saw this remastered, but I'm sure some of you, at least some of you, are wondering if scenes such as
You flaming idiots!
this beautiful English voice acting will be in this game. Now, you know, I truly wish this too, but I just can't imagine that they would do this again. Lately, things have been kind of boring. Like, instead of good old Sega, we have Sega. Or not even anything at all, just some sound, like room, and that's it. And the same will probably happen here. So instead of you flaming idiots, Zhang Bao will probably be all like, you ignorant fools, receive thy judgment. Or something boring and lame, like, you know, something that a Dynasty Warriors 9 voice actor would produce. You know, from some guy you never heard from before. Or worse, it could be in Japanese. Really wouldn't put him past that, because that shit happened in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 Remake, and we've always had at least Chinese language up until that point in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So, you know, it was really odd that they only had Japanese, but it could be a one-off thing as well, because I think they were just trying to show off their Xian voice actor. But anyway, basically put though, I wouldn't get too carried away from the goodwill Dynasty Warriors Origins produce. It's just a one-off thing. For now, of course, they could easily have turned a new leaf and everything. But it's not like the company or the people in charge really changed. Now you may ask, why does it even matter, right? Why does it matter? Maybe not. I mean, like, in my opinion, something like celebrating an old game of 25 years, I thought it might be a nice gesture to bring back that campy-ass voice acting that got us into the series in the first place. Begs the question, right? If Dynasty Warriors was not already an established series, what would happen then? Like, if they tried to take themselves seriously back in like the year 2000, I wonder if Dynasty Warriors would have gotten off as well as it has. I mean, honestly, like, we have things like these goofy ass weapons, and is the enemy camp pretty, which gave them the sales, I believe, to keep the series going. I think we have Dynasty Warriors 3 to thank for this. Like, okay, you see, back in the day, especially during the cartridge era, I mean the CD era probably is a little easier, but still, there's a certain amount of risk when it comes to localizing games. Putting games together is not cheap. And then you have to localize it and bringing it to internationally. It's an expensive endeavor. So developers, if they try to do something like this, would try to cater to Western audiences with things like alternative box arts and other things with attitude to try and sell their games. And I think that's part of the charm with old games, and also part of the charm of why we don't have visual novel games until recently. But anyway, I'm honestly kind of surprised that they gave it another shot after Dynasty Warriors 2. I can't imagine Dynasty Warriors 2 doing that well, because I thought it was kind of ass, honestly. It's like, if I recall correctly, everyone's kind of just using swords and spears, aside from like Deltan or something, who always had the twin mace. But even then, I don't know. But all of a sudden, we have colorful claws and fans and all the campy-ass voice acting of Dynasty Warriors 3 that made it great. Whew, imagine if they had tried to take it seriously with the sword and spears again in 3. You know, maybe it's just my opinion, but I wonder how many people were actually legitimately interested in later Han Dynasty, like back in the early 2000s. You know, instead of just guys like me who came from back from that background, where the names are familiar to me to begin with, I wonder how many people are actually interested in that crap. So I believe for that to happen, I think Dynasty Warriors 3 was the foundation that built up these characters to the West. And, so I think that's why we need you flaming idiots back. I doubt they'll do it though, but I mean, I could just be reaching you since, I did read somewhere that Dynasty Warriors 3 voice acting was actually kind of a improvisation. It was kind of an in-house job where they just did what they did because, they didn't have voice actor until they actually hired voice actors in 4. But, given that the more professional VAs were used in the future, I would say that Dynasty Warriors 3 at least had to have at least some success for that to happen. Because hiring VAs in America, oh boy, you know how Americans are like. But anyway, that's another topic altogether. Anyhow, so another concern I have was back in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 remake. Man, I love that game, but it's also kind of a bit of a disappointment. Like, I love 8 a lot. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8, I like it a lot. But, it was fun at first, too. The remake, that is. But, repetitiveness aside, they really kind of blew it with presentation. Even before the whole game mechanics where, people don't attack and stuff like that. Like, you can't even get your presentation right. There's only 6 movies. Like only 6 movies in the gallery. Well, okay, maybe like 5 actually, since the last one's just credits. So what's going to become of Dynasty Warriors 3 then? Like, what's going to happen with the remaster? Are they going to actually have in-battle cutscenes? Or are they going to be like, how it is from the later games? Like, instead of their introduction and spinning their weapon around and talking about how they're going to chop you up, there's just going to be like this chat box in the bottom where they talk. I honestly hope that they have all those stupid character introductions. Even if they do kind of break sequence of the game, I do hope they have those in. But anyway, yeah, I wonder about that. And I wonder if, like, all the old cutscenes will be intact. Like, there was quite a few from the old one. Especially since this is the complete edition, they're going to have to add all the ones in Extreme Legends as well. Knowing Koei, it makes me kind of worry. I wonder if they're just going to cut corners again, or are they actually going to go and put through the effort to make all those beautiful cutscenes fully voiced and whatnot. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But nothing in the trailer indicates this, except for that one like Ryubu scene where he charges out. So I mean, like, another thing about 8 remake that what it did was that it changes the mechanics, like with the defense and all that. But, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because we're talking about Dynasty Warriors. But, okay, so thankfully, at least from what little I've seen, like maybe of the gameplay, it seemed like they remained the same. Nightbringer was telling me about how he thought that Xiaodun was using the whole C3 chain. That shit that they introduced in Dynasty Warriors 4. But I looked at it. No, that seems like it's just his regular old Square 4 and 5. So, what I see here, based on that, was that the very basic mechanics are the same. So we're probably not going to get the C3 thing, but don't quote me on it. I might be completely off. It could be that they decide that, oh yeah, we're gonna make some gameplay improvements. We're gonna skip all those in-battle introductions. We're gonna not have you lock in when you swing at someone, which will be a huge improvement, and it'll also make Cao Cao absolutely broken as hell. Those of you who play Dynasty Warriors 3 know that his 4th weapon is the most broken ass thing ever. But the only thing holding him back was the fact that once you start swinging in a direction, you're locked into the target that you were initially hitting. That was what holds him back, at least to me, in the very top tier of all the characters. I know there are people who already make him like S tier above everyone else. But I still think that Ryubu is the strongest character, just because of his sheer range and like sheer stats. But anyway, so I looked at the Square 4 and 5 that Xiaodun has. So based on that, the mechanics are the same. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the UI. I don't know if they're going to have that annoying shit where the enemy knocks you away and then they'll heal. Or, you know, these archers that famously ruin your fun with fucking tons of damage, you know, and constant interruptions. I'm wondering how much they'll do, like how much good or bad they'll retain. Like the trailer isn't answering these questions, so what the hell am I gonna even say? Like I didn't even hear a damn voice from the trailer, like, you know, or that wing guy didn't even, the wing helmet guy didn't even get to posture before getting destroyed by the Boo. So the cutscene is different. No, in fact, I don't even think he's wearing a winged helmet. So, really, you want to hear my opinion on Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered? Well, you get to hear me babble instead, because not enough is known at this time. I will try to beg Koei, get on my knees, and have him give me, like, an early copy so I can make a more accurate review in the future. How's that?